he's a self-described free spirit, and that's really the best way to describe it. It's
like a New Yorker already to me, because he has the same ambition. He's hungry. He goes out to get what he wants. He won't take no for an answer.
He's actually quite a normal, grounded guy. I mean, he doesn't really give off that impression, but
He really is just positive. He wants to dance. He wants to freestyle. He wants to rap. He wants to just, live every moment as if it were the last.
I got into freestyle when I was like 16. I was always like doing tricks, and that was the part of football that most interested me, was the skillful side. I used to love watching players like Ronaldinho from Brazil, and just like, maybe not the best players, but they used to try like really like humiliating skills on the defenders and stuff. I used to love that.
he had his own unique style, but it was centered around a love of football. He used to do, photoshops with football. He used to have a football forum online, and I guess we both love football. And when we were playing it together, that's kind of where the foundation that our friendship got built upon.
I used to be a goalkeeper when I was a kid. I used to be the striker, and if the goalkeeper got injured, I was the substitute goalkeeper. So if the goalkeeper got injured or he missed the game, I would be in goal.
He's amazing. Obviously his freestyle skill is like on a whole different level, but he also transitions to the field really, really well. A lot of freestylers just kind of dedicate themselves to freestyle, and that's their craft, that's their art, and that's awesome, that's what they do. Daniel obviously just has a love for playing with the ball regardless. So although he's an insane freestyler, put him on the field and he's really, really good also. So yeah, he could hold his own wherever you put him.
So I was always doing skills. Then I kind of started doing tricks and more juggling stuff just after practice or before practice with my friends. Then I saw a video on YouTube of a freestyler called Pale. He just kind of like blew my mind. I was like, what the hell is that? That's not even possible. I remember I called my mom into the room to look at the video, and she was like, nah, that's got to be fake. And I was like, yeah, it's probably fake. And it wasn't fake. It was just like we weren't used to seeing that. So I started practicing outside every single day. I just got totally addicted to training, and every day freestyle grew a bit stronger, like in my heart, and football kind of died down a little bit in terms of which one I wanted to take more serious. So I still love playing football, but in terms of taking something seriously as a life path, but freestyle just kind of became the most obvious choice for me, because I really loved it, and you can do it anywhere, anytime, any place. You don't need a team, you don't need anybody else, you just need yourself and a ball, and you're good to go. So I really like the freedom element of it.
He was a little, I don't know, different, but he kind of didn't play by the rules of everybody else, or the rules that everybody else plays by. He always wanted to do his own thing, and I guess when he started doing freestyle, I thought that was kind of a little bit weird. It was different. No, I'd never seen anybody else do it before. There was only like a few videos on YouTube of people doing it, and he started doing it himself. And once he got really good, I could see him like practicing every day, every night. I'd say to him sometimes, hey, you want to watch a movie, you want to hang out, play some cards, and he would say, yeah, come on over, but after I finish my freestyle training.
A lot of people do freestyle, but not a lot of people can get people interested in their freestyle. You need to be able to build hype about yourself. And that's what I feel like. I'm genuinely really excited about everything I put out. I feel like if I put out a video, I feel like you would be lucky to watch it. I'm lucky that I even made this video. Like, you should be lucky to even watch it. And people see that and they're like, oh, I should check out this video. He seems excited about it. Instead of just being like, hey, I put out a new video. If you feel like checking it out. I'm like, yo, you have to watch this video. You have to be excited about what you're doing and create a buzz. If you can't get people to see your work, the work is pointless. Why would you do all this work if people aren't going to check it out and watch it and be a part of it? So you have to have two things. You have to have the actual craft and the skill, and then you need to have the kind of marketing behind it. But I don't feel like it's marketing when it's genuine. I feel like marketing is a bad word. I feel like it's just excitement, translating your excitement to the world. So, yeah.
This, my friend, a little global warming right here.
Look out.
A little polar ice cap.
I'm real. We finally got to meet in person in Calgary. It's funny, random place to be at, but it was for a North American Freestyle Championship. And we met in person for the first time, but it was like we knew each other forever, and that's the way the freestyle community is. We did a bunch of stuff together. We kicked it in Calgary. He was by far the craziest dude there. It was maybe minus 20 degrees, and he was out in shorts. Literally, your face froze as soon as you walked out the door, and there he was walking over to the gas station to get some snacks. From there, the rest is history, and we're still continuing to make history.
The first competition I ever attended was the Irish final in 2009, which was to select the winner who would represent Ireland at the 2010 World Finals in South Africa. So I competed. It was my first competition ever. There was two really great freestylers in Ireland at the time. One was called Nam. He's like one of the most famous pioneers in freestyle and legend. And the other one is Mark Tiernan, and they were like the favorites. And yeah, the final was between them. I lost against Nam in the quarterfinal or something. But yeah, I was just terrible. But I had so much fun because it was so exciting to have a competition on for us, like, you know, with Red Bull sponsoring it, and just like cool venue, cool location. I just remember walking in there that day and just being like, wow, like this is for us, like they have a stage for us. Like, that's crazy. Like it was really insane because I was just used to practicing in my garden or like at the end of my street or whatever. So that was a really special day, and that was like the start of like my competing and my, you know, participating in competitions. So that was like the first one. That was cool. I think two things pop out to me from what I've learned from my parents the most, and I've learned everything from them, and I'm really grateful to my parents. I think from my dad, I really learned like that what's to, you know, think about what's important, like, and be generous and not be worried about insignificant things. Like, don't try to be like hold on to, you know, money or something like that, or, you know, if you can help somebody, you should help them, and be generous with your time and your energy, and even financially or whatever. Like, just any way you can help people, just help, you know. So I'm sure that my dad, even if he was literally down to like his last dollar or whatever, he would like lend money to his friends or whatever. Like, I've seen him do stuff that I'm like, whoa, like that's crazy. Not a lot of people do that. So I think I learned that really good lesson from him. And also from my mom, I learned that you need to be, if you want something, you really need to go for it, and like don't apologize for wanting something, and really, like, if you feel like you want to do something, just go for it, and don't make any apologies, and make sure that you give it your full effort, and don't let anything come in the way of what you really want to get. So I think those are the two things that I picked up the most from my parents.
He's got ideas that no one else has. He has the drive and the motivation every single day to chase after his dreams and make that a reality, and not just kind of think about things and dream, oh, wouldn't it be cool if, wouldn't it be really cool to do this? Daniel does it. There aren't a lot of people like him on earth, and yeah, that's I think the highest compliment you could pay anyone in this day's age. So Daniel gets that for sure.
I can't really pinpoint the moment when I was inspired to like make music. I just always liked music since I was a kid, and growing up at home, there was always a lot of music in the family, like always music playing everywhere, in the car, at home, whatever, and just a very musical environment. I think that's something very Brazilian too, you know, a lot of music and rhythm. I used to play the drums as a kid, so I have that natural like tendency towards rhythm and stuff, and I just love music. So I don't really know when the specific time was, but I just remember, you know, I was always like writing like lyrics and raps and songs and singing and everything, and I just started recording. I was like, all right, I want to record some songs, and then I rented out this studio in Dublin called Electra Studios, and that was a long time ago, and I recorded some absolutely terrible, like so bad. Like, if you played it for me right now, I would get so red. I don't even know if I have I think I have some tracks, but I want to like burn those into like the eternity of all time. I never want anyone to hear them. and then eventually I was like, man, I want to start making the music as well, like the beats, not just the lyrics. I want to make the music. So I bought a keyboard. I bought like the software you need to use called Fruity Loops, FL Studio, and I just started making beats. And then like a lot of my beats started getting really popular on YouTube, and I started selling my beats online to other rappers or singers or whatever. I just love making music. It's like, it's weird because I don't really know whether I want to do that as a career, but I just love the process of making the songs and making music and writing the lyrics, and I love melody more than anything. I don't really care too much about lyrics. I just love melody and love coming up with catchy melodies. I love using auto-tune. I feel like I have a distinct style that I've kind of developed from people who have influenced me, and now it's kind of like all in this melting pot. I turned it into my own kind of style. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where my music goes, but I don't really mind too much if it doesn't materialize into some huge, you know, famous thing, or my music's super like popular all over the world. I'm not really sure if that's what I want. I wouldn't mind, but for right now, I just really love making it, just creating music. So everybody asked me, you know, what do you do to relax when you're recording, you know, to blow off some steam? Let's do handstand in my kitchen. I can record a whole album in a week and release it. A lot of musicians would never do that. They need to redo tiny details over and over and over and over. And I think you have to, it's like, once again, it's like a balance. I don't want to put out things that aren't quality. If there's a song I make, if it's not good, I don't put it out, you know. I've maybe made hundreds of songs. Maybe I only released like 50 or 60 full songs in my career, but I've made hundreds or 1,000, whatever. But at the same time, you also got to know when you're being too much a perfectionist and adjusting everything too much and overthinking it too much. At the end of the day, you got to just put it out. I know so many talented people who waste all of their talent because they're too perfectionist. They're like an amazing filmmaker or an amazing artist or an amazing musician or an amazing anything, but they self-doubt and they say, it's not ready, my album's not ready, I can't put it out, it's not ready yet. And then next year, oh, what's up, man, did you put out any new music recently? Oh no, I'm still working on that album because like I just feel like it's not ready, and they're just scared to put it out because they feel like it is scary to put out your art, because once you put something out and you say, hey guys, here's my album, you're instantly open to judgment. People can judge it, they can look at it, they can say, that song sucks. And like maybe you worked on it for like 2 weeks. You wrote a song for 2 weeks, you poured your heart into it, someone listens to it for like 8 seconds and says, nah, that's shit. So like, it's tough as an artist. You don't want your work to just be judged like that, but you have to. That's art. People are gonna judge it. If you like it yourself, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if someone else likes it or doesn't like it. If you enjoyed making it and if it brought you some joy to make it, then that's the most important thing.
Daniel got hits.
If you ask about key moments in freestyle, I guess the first one I would say was in Prague European Championships 2010, where I beat Skora. He's a freestyler called Pavel Skora, and he was, you know, the reigning champion from the year before, and I faced him in the first round, and I knew, okay, if I pull out all my best tricks, I can beat him, because I knew I had more swag, more charisma on stage, and I knew people would like be cheering for me, but I had to pull out my best tricks, and I did like the best battle of my life, and yeah, it was awesome. So that was, I remember when I beat him, it was 3-2, the judges' votes was 3-2 to me. And I came off the stage and like 100 freestylers, everybody was just crowding around me, high-fiving me, hugging me, like, whoa, you just beat Skora. It would be like, you know, it would be like some random kid you never heard of beating Floyd Mayweather or whatever, like in a fight. Like it was just like real underdog story, and that was like the first thing that really got my name on the scene.
Kids, don't cross if it's not green, kids.
After university, I just knew that I had to go somewhere bigger than Dublin. Just didn't have any opportunities for me on the level that I was envisioning, and I just wanted to go somewhere bigger with more stuff happening, somewhere exciting. I thought it made sense to move to London. I had friends in London, pretty good freestyle scene in London. That was the main idea I had in my head. Anyway, we're on the way to Whistle Sports office doing a shoot for Macy's tomorrow. Just gonna be doing some freestyle, but I'm gonna be doing it in a suit. So we're getting fitted out right now. Let's see what happens. Another just a random day in the life. We got the fresh cut here and we got the no cut there. That's a no cut. No cut. I don't think the move was risky. I actually, when people say, oh, do you feel like it's risky to move to London or to move to New York? I'm like, it's risky not to move. It's risky to stay stuck and don't evolve your life and don't get any new opportunities and don't get to the next level. That's risky. The risk to me is not going for it. Plus, I'm really, I believe in myself 1000%, and I know that no matter what I do, where I go, or anything, everything I do is going to be successful in the long term, because I know the amount of energy and passion I put into things, and I really just believe it's not possible for me to fail. So when I put my mind and my heart into something, and I know that it's truly something I believe in, it's not possible for me to fail. So I felt zero risk with any of my moves.
Kids, safety first. When I see freestylers freestyling with their laces undone, I'm like, I go into parenting mode. I'm like, tie your damn laces, you're gonna hurt yourself.
The crazy thing with freestyle is that I'm traveling all over the world. I'm getting paid for my flights and my hotel, and I'm competing and everything, but not necessarily earning money. From the outside, it looks like I'm, you know, living some crazy thing, like 1 week in Japan, next week go here, next week go to like Amsterdam, next week go to Czech Republic, but it was all paid for, you know. Meanwhile, I have like $100. I don't even know where I'm going to pay my rent, but I'm like traveling the whole world every single day. So people are like, damn man, like you must be a millionaire. I'm like, no. I wouldn't change it for anything. It was a blast, you know. I used to love it. Like, I don't think it was possible to have more fun than I had in the last like 5 years. I guess then the real major point then came when I won the Irish Championships in Dublin, and went to Italy to represent Ireland at the World Finals in Red Bull Street Style, which is the main competition globally for freestyle. And that was in 2012. It was my first time ever at a World Finals, first time anything. I trained so hard all year to represent Ireland well in the finals, and yeah, thankfully when I got there, I just wanted to get to the top 16 because that's like the final night, like in the main stage and stuff. I just wanted to get there, and thankfully I qualified for top 16. I was in great shape, and like, yeah, I was just an underdog again. I just kept winning and winning. I got all the way to the final where I faced the Japanese freestyler Takura, and he was just too good for me. He was too experienced, he was too prepared, and he just beat me with more so with experience than anything, because he knew how to handle the final, and I got a little bit too nervous, I think. I let the occasion get to me, where he just stayed focused. So yeah, he beat me in the final, but still I finished second in the whole world, and that was like definitely a pivotal moment that changed a lot of stuff for me.
I have no idea, man. I really have no idea. I came second in the world, apparently. That's what I don't know what to say. It's like more than a dream come true.
When you're training and putting in thousands of hours into something, then obviously it's something that requires a lot of practice, and it is a difficult craft. It's, you know, 1 centimeter difference on your touch. Like when you're in a world final, the difference between winning your championship final or not is like, if you touch the ball 0.5 millimeter in the wrong place, it might go off the stage, as opposed to getting controlled. So the margin of error is so small, and you know, you practice it for years. Like you could practice a trick for years and years and years every day, and you can still mess it up. Like there's freestylers messing up tricks all the time that they've practiced for 8 years, you know. It's I think that makes it harder than something else. For example, dance or something, because when you dance, not to say it's harder, but it's just that element of it is harder. Whereas if you dance, it's only your body that you're controlling. So once you master that movement within your body, you can do it every single time. When it's freestyle, you have to control a ball, and sometimes it could be just small things, like the ball is more inflated, less inflated, different material than another ball. Your shoes are different, so they have a different shape on that ball. Your shoes and your ball are different from the last time. It's windy outside and you have a different pair of shoes, or you got a different ball and it's like really hot and you're sweating and the touch is different. There's so many different things related to the ball and the shoes that can really just change. Your touch is always just gradually changing. You need to keep adjusting. And where if it's something like dance, for example, I feel like once you master that movement, you lock it in. And I think dance is probably harder than freestyle in other elements, but I think in that particular element, it's just an example of why I think freestyle is really hard compared to some other things. Anybody who has any, you know, passion they're pursuing, I respect it 100%, because I know how hard it is, and no matter what you do, it's worthwhile if you're willing to put the time into it. So eventually I just felt like I needed a new challenge in my life and needed something new, and you know, I was like, New York is a perfect place. You got to go just at least once in your life. You got to live there. That's how I always felt. I always felt like, you know, you got to at least try. So that's why I'm here.
You can zoom on that?
Yeah.
I guess my focus right now really just to like keep pushing myself to new levels with everything I do with freestyle, with music, and really promote freestyle across the world as much as I can, because I love freestyle so much. I want it to be huge. I want freestylers to be able to make a great living from the sport the same way other athletes can.
She wanted to be in the documentary.
And also I just want for myself just to keep evolving as a person and have as much freedom as possible to like create and to, you know, express myself in whatever way that I want to.
Freestyle is super hard, but so is everything you want to be amazing at, or like reach a greatness at is going to be really, really, really hard. And I still haven't reached that level, in my opinion. I think I'm a very good freestyler, and I think I've achieved a lot in the sport. I'm proud of what I've achieved, but you know, there's a handful of greats in the sport. I wouldn't place myself in that level right now, but hopefully one day I could say that I was. Really, I don't know how to get freestyle in the Olympics, but I'm going to tell a really crazy story. One time I went to a psychic in Brazil who was doing tarot cards, and he was like 80 years old. He didn't know what the internet was. Literally a dude in the middle of nowhere in Brazil in a hut, and he didn't even know what freestyle is. And he's doing all these tarot card things, and he's like, you do some sort of sport or something? Like, I can see on the cards, what do you do? Some sort of sport. And I told him what freestyle is, and he's like, and he put out the cards, and he's like, is this in the Olympics? And I'm like, no. And he's like, that's interesting. It says here that before you die, you're gonna be able to help freestyle get in the Olympics. You're gonna be a key person that's gonna help freestyle get in the Olympics. And I was like, damn, what?